Welcome to Booking Like a Mark. I'm your host, Mark, and I want to welcome you to the very first video episode of the podcast. This is season number 3, and for the past 2 seasons, it has been audio exclusive. You've been able to find us on Spotify, and you've been able to find us in multiple other spots like Apple Music and iHeartRadio. But for the first time, you are now able to actually see us. What that allows us to do is to have a little bit more fun with some of the visual segments, like that great skit that you saw to open the show. If you're familiar with the InVasion storyline that we're covering this season, then you will remember that explosive moment on the Raw before WrestleMania 17, when Shane McMahon pulled the rug out from underneath his father, and he bought WCW. That's exactly what we were recreating with that skit. Thanks again to Mouthing Off with Mike. You can find him on YouTube, on X, and on Facebook, all the social medias. And he's also part of Four Sides of the Ring. Good friends of ours. You'll often find Rick 8-Bit and myself in the comments on their podcasts, and occasionally we'll make appearances. Maybe a couple more now that you're getting to see my beautiful face on YouTube. But thanks again to Mike. That was our InVasion skit, our cold open. So why the InVasion? It's season 3, and it's going to stretch the whole season. So why is this one so important to do? Well, for starters, it's the 25th anniversary. The storyline took place in 2001. We are in the year 2026. But also, it's the biggest missed opportunity in wrestling history. It's kind of the white whale that I've always chased as someone who has loved rebooking storylines. Now, I did reach out to some fellow podcasters through Discord, and I asked them, a couple of longtime wrestling fans, what did not work about the InVasion? Number 1 answer. Would you like to guess it? I'll give you 5 seconds. And that's your time. The biggest reason that the InVasion angle failed, according to these other podcasters, is the WCW roster was weak. Names like Hogan, Nash, Hall, Goldberg, Flair, Sting, Randy Savage. All these big names were not present for the WCW side of things. So that's a big obstacle I'm going to have to overcome when I rebook this storyline. Another thing, though, that they said is that WCW and ECW, the alliance, never really had its own identity. Part of that is because the leaders were Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Paul Heyman, and Stone Cold. Paul Heyman, of course, has a close tie with ECW, but the other 3 characters had been portrayed for the past few years leading up to the InVasion as WWF characters. And that's exactly how it felt, especially as the InVasion went on and other names defected from the WWF. It ended up just kind of boiling down to WWF versus not really an alliance of other companies, but kind of against just WWF Light or Diet WWF. So again, that's where I need to try to beef up the roster. So I want to warn you now, I am not going to add in any of those big names. That would be the easy fix, but I want to play in the sandbox that the WWF had at the time. I might still do defections from WWF, but it's only going to be guys in the bubble on the rosters in that storyline. Also, it's just going to be WCW. It's not going to be an alliance. At times you might see ECW pop up in this storyline, but more as mercenaries, kind of playing both sides. You're not really going to see a full alliance because I think that also dilutes WCW. Especially because ECW didn't even bring over any of its titles. It was already the little brother in the storyline of the 2 older siblings fighting. So we're just going to leave it on the side. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this, but it is going to take a while. So that is why it is the whole season. Today we're just covering the initial InVasion pay-per-view. And as I give you that match card, I will give you a little bit of the storylines leading up to it that get us to that point. But first, let's go to Rick 8-Bit, because we did get some great stuff that I want to show you. And we got it in preparation for today's episode. a little bit of research stuff. So Rick, take it away.